So let me introduce. Simon is one of the largest electrical components. They manufacture electrical components like switches or plugs or, but of course, more connected Internet of things, dimmers, everything that you have in your house related with electric equipment. Simon has a word to say. In fact, it's one of the largest manufacturing electrical components in all Hispanoamerica. That means Spain, Portugal, but also all Latin America. And not only this, because today we have the main character of this story, that is David Romero. David Romero is an engineer. He's been exposed to lean in the automotive sector in Valeo, where he learned quite a lot of the things that later he applied. And he was the one character that tried to apply lean in Simon few times, some of them unsuccessful and some of them successful. And the key points, and that David is here with us today, it's something very important. Of course, after manufacturing, which it seems natural for a manufacturing company, it has been moving also to the non-manufacturing part of the company, from human resources to R&D, from finance to commercial. That means that not only office processes, but also corporate offices. But well, today we're here for the lean transformation in the manufacturing. But of course, David, I think that you're going to speak a little about all the other things, because one thing cannot be understood without the other. Well, I make a very long introduction, but we want to hear you. David, thank you very much for being here. It's really a pleasure, personally and from the Lean Global Network. So all ears for you.
Yeah, okay, many thanks, Oriol, for the introduction. Hello, everybody. As Oriol explained, here in this session, we will explain the transformation of an electrical material factory in Olot, in a small town in Catalonia. Okay, but although Oriol has introduced a little bit Simon, I will make a brief introduction about who is Simon. Simon is a company more than 100 years old that started in this small town of Olot in Barcelona in 1916 with Arturo Simeon, our founder. He was one of the first installers in the town, and he was bringing electric light to people's homes for the first time. More than 100 years later, we have developed our products and the evolution, and with the spirit of bringing lighting and energy to homes, business, and cities all over the world. It's important to mention also that this company is a family-owned company led by its fourth generation, and we have a simple mandate, that is to pass the company to the next generation in better condition. Here we can see a little bit the evolution of Simon. I would like to highlight two or three milestones. In 1966, we bought IEP. It's the moment when we introduced the lighting business into our business. The second important milestone is nearly year 2000, when we started an age of international expansion, very important for us. And since then, we have also made some evolutions towards connectivity and Internet of Things in our products. The evolution of the company has led us to reach these figures, more than 3,000 people all over the world, and more than 3 million euros of revenues. Also important regarding our presence throughout the world, we produce in the same location that we sell. That's our strategy. And we adapt the design and usability to each cultural region, so that is the way that we generate also local wealth and employment. We are present in homes, buildings, and urban. And our catalog of products is not only switches and sockets, we also sell indoor lighting, smart systems, connectivity, outdoor lighting, electric vehicle recharge systems, and electrical accessories. Let's focus to the lean. When I explain the lean journey of the company, I do it from my personal experience. In the time I reached the company, I joined the company in the year 2015. After 15 years of being in an automotive company where the culture of lean was already installed, That is the way I grow in my professional experience. After these years, I decided to change and start a new project in a company that needed to make this change. At that moment, and an important date is the year 2008, where there was a big crisis of construction in Spain. Our main business is construction, so we suffer a lot on this. And we realized, or the company realized at that moment, that the market was changing. The market was changing as every time there were more, bigger catalog. And our product is a product that longs a lot of time. We still produce switches and sockets 40 years old, and we are still selling this. So the problem was that our catalog every time was bigger and bigger. Uh, at that moment, the company wanted to change its approach to industrial organization and operation strategy, because since the moment the way to deliver to the customers was having a stock of everything. And with this change in the business, the company realized that there was not the good solution, as every time we had more problems with the obsolescence of the products. So that was the first doubt. How we adapt to this change of the business market regarding the industrial organization and the operation strategy. I joined the company as the plant manager of a small plant also in Catalonia, in the town of Martorelles. And before this, the only thing that Simon had experienced as lean was some small workshops, like a tool workshop, some 5S or SMED workshops. For me, the beginning was quite strange, and I put this image and this sentence on from Mars to Simon, because at the beginning, when I started as plant manager in Martorellas and started relation with the rest of the company, I I feel like a UFO, like coming from Mars, because I was explaining things that I was not really sure if people understood what I was explaining. I was the one that was explaining the things from a different point of view. And it was quite interesting, but in fact, I have a good reception from the people of the factory. And in this factory, we started the first workshops towards Lean. We started to make some BSMs, and also we make a layout and started to make the implantation of the first APUs, or small companies, that I would point out later in the presentation. This stage long more or less 2 years. And after this, and the company realized about the success we had in this plant, the company decided to give a worldwide view to this lean, or this new way of managing the operations. And for me, it was the second stage. In this stage, I started traveling to know all the factories of the company all over the world, and I realized that it's very important to adapt to the local culture. You cannot go to any country and with your book of lean and exactly implant the same way that you have to it in other places. You always need to adapt to the culture of the local people. Here in this stage, we make also some improvement projects, uh, some changes of layout or some transfers, implanting some management routines in Mexico. But the fact is that after some months of making these projects as the lead of the project, I realized that it was not really successful. And the problem was that were projects that were led by me, that were like David projects. And I also, that there was an understanding that if we want to be successful, the people that has to lead the project is the people that is having the problem every day. And that was a big learning for me that helped us to deploy the transformation plan. After 2 years of this period, we start this third stage. Here in this moment, there was a big change in the company. The company finally believe in Lean and want to implant a long-term transformation plan that I will go deeper on this. And first of all, that we did was to create our own temple. Our own temple sustained by big foundations. We had high skill and committed team, high quality products and design, and a large industrial legacy, more than 100 years in production of our products, and three pillars: the management of the knowledge, the creation of a management operational system, learn about our workshops, and create our own book to be shared with the rest of the companies in the future. And the third pillar is always thinking towards innovation and technology. Since the moment we were used to work on yearly targets, at that moment we change our view to a more long-term view, and we work on programs based on our three pillars. And these programs were giving us yearly targets. This is a way to have clear the true north. And where did we start this big global transformation in operations? We decided to start it in the more complex plant that we have in the world, that is Olot. Olot is the only plant in the world of Simon that is containing all the technologies that we use for production. And we said, okay, if we are successful in this plant, we will be successful everywhere. So we decided to start the program in this factory. This program was divided in 6 projects that you can see in the image. And the first one was to improve the material flow, to change the layout of the factory. I will go deeper in this point. Before the year 2019, the factory, it was a group of different technology and processes with a layout that has really no sense. In fact, I always explain that my first day in Simon, although I was plant manager of Martorellas, I went to a lot with my boss. And he told me, okay, spend all day in the factory, and after the day, you will give me some feedback about what you have learned. And in the return to Barcelona in the car, I explained to my boss, okay, I have not understood anything because, in fact, after hours being in the plant, I have not realized about the real flow of the product and the production. And it is something curious because, in fact, the factory has been created putting processes in this free space that we found at that moment. We decided to start with this change of layout. We created a team, heterogeneous team, since people from direction and to operators also included. And we removed in the drawing all the machines in the factory. And we said, okay, let's put the machines as we want it to be. And we give priority to the flows. We make this change. We took the opportunity of COVID. COVID was a period where our sales were decreasing, and that was the best moment to make this change of the layout. And in a period of 8 months, we changed almost all the machines that we had in the factory. Here we have some examples of spaghetti flow that we did before the change in the period of the analysis, and also the BSMs that we did in the main products, the products with the highest volume. We also were given some additional challenges. Of course, it's not so easy. The challenges given by the direction was that they wanted to integrate the offices in the shop floor that before were in a separated building. There was another challenge. We had another plant 70 kilometers away from Olot, and we wanted to integrate the processes of this plant in Olot, so we needed more space. And we also wanted to integrate a new project, the project Series 270, and about 500 square meters were needed for this project. So the challenge was really big. How we did it? First of all, to get free space to start making the change of the layout, removal of non-strategic activities. Second point, outsourcing the processes with a load less than 30%. Third point, to reduce the surface of the warehouse, improving the supply flows, and also to make a startup a process of product standardization and portfolio rationalization. We introduced the concept of platforms in our products. And of course, some investment on new and faster automatic production lines to substitute the lines that were coming from the other factory. Also, giving priority to the material flow. And here we have a small summary of the results. Only with this change of layout and from a micro point of view, We reduce the lead time. This is an average lead time for main PSMs, and finished good is not included because the finished good is in external warehouse we have for the distribution. We reduce the lead time from 43 days to 14 days. We reduce the internal transport in 50%, the work in progress in 46%, the surface in 25, taking into account that we need it with the challenges that direction gave us, in theory, more fast, more surface. And the number of movements of materials was increased, but with less difficulty and distance. And that was the result of the first project of the program. The second project was improving the maintenance, the TPM. If we wanted to go to a pool model, we need to reduce the variability in our process. And here we use the TPM and really focus on giving the sense to the people that we need to go to the root cause of the problems and also starting the preventive maintenance. The third project was after making the big change in the layout. From a macro point of view, we get in detail in the processes and always with a view of Muri Mura Muda to reduce the variability, improve the economics, and to reduce the waste in the processes. The fourth project was standardization in terms of product and process. The fifth project was pull, of course, to change from push based on forecasting to a pull model. And the last one was to improve the autonomous management, to empower the teams and creating what we call the APUs, Autonomous Production Unit, and APTs, Autonomous Production Teams, and also to introduce a new concept in the company that was the transversal management. This is a model very typical in automotive area, and we wanted to implant this model also to our company. I will make some focus on this because I think it's really related on leadership. That is one of the subjects of this Lean Global Connection of this year. Taking into account this, some sentences very important for me. Transformation implies change management. And here I would like to point out that in every transformation process, all the people needs to be involved and it implies change. And the reality is that in the first line of management of the factory of Olot, during the period of this change, many people did not join the project and left the company. So for all of you that are prepared to make this transformation process, be prepared to this because this is a fact. If you have someone in your team that do not believe in the project, it's the first thing that you have to do is to convince them. And if you are not successful, try to find someone else that believes in the project. And this is a reality that you need to admit and to accept. And then also, I would like to point out that transversal management for me implies conviction, hierarchical manager implies commanding, and lean culture is transversal. These sentences at the end make us learn about the projects we wanted to implant, and taking into account also that for us, speed was a key factor. We need to be fast because we were late on making this transformation. I'm explaining this because we decided to divide the projects in two kind of projects. The first one that we call hard projects. Projects where if you have resources and you push, you will be successful. And soft projects more related to culture change, to change the mind of the people. And I'm explaining this because in this process of transformation of Olot, I started at the beginning giving support, giving transversal support as the lead manager of the company. And the person that was in charge of the factory, a plant manager, was a person that had a lot of knowledge, technical knowledge, and in the processes. And it was a good combination to be successful in these hard projects. But when we wanted to start in the following period, the soft projects, we decided to change our roles because it's always easier if speed is a key factor, as I am saying, it's always easiest to be plant manager and make commanding than to convince people. And we change our positions. I started as plant manager. I was there 3 years as plant manager, and the previous plant manager was giving support as industrialization manager to improve the processes. And I would like to show this slide that I present to the factory exactly like this, only that the beginning was in Catalan, here is in English. When we wanted to change to the APUs, to the autonomous prediction units. For me, this is a good example of short-term leadership because if we want to prepare this, many time to prepare it and to explain people how to work. But in fact, in this case, in Olot, we make the change from one day to the other. I make this presentation to all the staff, and I said, starting from tomorrow, we will start to work like this. And as I was the plant manager, no discussion. And as I was there every day, in case of any doubt, the people ask about the doubt, and I was there to solve any doubt and go ahead with the project. Here we introduced new concepts that were super functions, functional versus hierarchical, co-management. Now some people had two different managers, autonomous teams, and an improvement approach. And the only guide that I give to the people was this. The APU manager, your hierarchical manager, is telling you what to do. And the plant super functions are telling you how to do it. That was my first message. And only with this information, we started to make this change. After the result of these 6 projects that come from the program, the doubts that we had at the beginning to how to adapt to this new business market were solved, and that is the way we make the change. Here you will see some images of the plant of Olot, and I would like also to point out that after this change, we opened doors to customer visits to the factory that during many years we did not have these visits of customers, and for us it's very important that the customers visit the factory to know how we do things. Some conditions for success, monitoring. We need to have regular steering committees to coordinate the actions, dedicated personnel, trusting the principle, results are linked to the process that generates them, understanding and giving support to the activities, commitment, involvement of support services, total participation of the people, and of course, rigor and discipline. And also some attitudes that help us to make the change on the job, Gemba, internal customer. A problem is an improvement opportunity, quick response, global vision, routines, teamwork, and progress teams to give autonomy to the people. All this knowledge that we get during the process, we use to create an SPS, what we call Simon Production System Site, and all the information was included here to be able to in the future spread all this in the rest of the plants of the company or all over the world. Next steps. The fourth stage is, okay, now that we have been successful in a plan in lean manufacturing, in 2024, we created the lean office at we could say, a worldwide level, with the target to implant this manufacturing change to the rest of the plants and also to start to improve the processes in the offices. Here we also created the program that we say Simon to be and the pillars of transformation. And even we change our headquarters and we move to an old factory that we adapt with all these concepts. You can see here the image. So that the areas of action of the lean office were mainly 3: lean management, lean office, and lean manufacturing. Lean management applying Hoshin country and corporate strategy, lean office methodology to administrative processes, and continues with the lean manufacturing. Regarding the transformation in the offices, we use 2 main pillars, methodology and culture, and we started to make a diagnostic. We make a PSM of all the processes of the factory, of the company, sorry, and we decided which were that processes that were critical for us. And with strategical and tactical A3s, we started to create improvement groups, always in parallel, giving training to the people and making follow-up of the processes. Very important also regarding these improvement teams to have a clear idea of the roles of the people implied in the lean projects. The change agent, expert of lean, the project leader is the one who has to lead the project, the sponsor, and the team members. And here the lean journey to continuous improvement and the process of the creation of these teams of improvement. After this, and regarding manufacturing, how we make the rollout to the rest of the plants. Here we create our lean self-assessment based on three pillars, that is variability reduction, flows management, and progress management, with some foundations. And with this lean self-assessment and main flows tracked with BSM, this is the tool that we use for the diagnosis to define the midterm improvement plan. Here we see an example of the LSA created in a concept of roadmap to advance in the improvement. And finally, we need to make capitalization of this knowledge using also the database to increase the knowledge as we are implanting in the different companies. And to finish with the presentation, some sentences. If you are not a firefighter, lean on lean before you burn or crash completely, and unlock a better life because flow just flows. Okay, thank you everybody for your time. And for me, the presentation is finished. I don't know if there is any question.
Thank you so much, David. Great presentation. Great insights that you gave to the audience, I think. I love what you did and the approach that it seems to be easy now, right? When you see in 20 slides the whole journey. But congratulations to the whole team of Simon. Just a quick one. There is a question here that I would like to pass to you. I told you that some of them are difficult sometimes, so let's see. Raul is asking, great presentation, David. Thank you for sharing your experience. For those that struggle to change COO mindset from quick wins to a sustainable transformation with Lean, what would be your advice? How can we make them embrace the change if their only language is financials? Thank you.
Here, my recommendation is that when you start or want to start a transformation project, the first thing you need to do is to make a small project that give these earnings to the people that think that financial is the most important. It's an example to see that we can be successful and that we need to believe in this. Start with small things with quick wins and good result. And after you get this convincement, present the global transformation. Because if we start with the most difficult, the results will not arrive fast, and the believing in the project will not be as should be.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So that's it. We are on time. Thank you again, Simon's team, represented by you, David. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, everybody.
And all our energy for your journey. Continue on that, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.